You let it go. Oh, you let it go. When you let it go, when you let it go, staring at the sky. One day you will understand why that everything you touch will be done. You are coming Blackout Fire Network. Good evening from Kampala, Uganda. It's Africa Maria on Blackout Fire Network. Well, today we're going to discuss about feminism in Africa. Whew, you know, feminism is quite a very sensitive topic that has a lot of controversies and contradicting theories. And the function theory of feminism actually is a total blunder, more especially when it comes to the African society. As an African woman who would love to see progress within the African community and more especially within the female fraternity, I would be so, excited about this. But where does feminism leave me as someone who understands the logic and the concept of an African woman? Our feminism existed in Africa before even I was born. A few of the so-called elite and educated women embraced it, not everyone. But since I started school, we've been studying about gender equality, gender balance, and all that stuff. And yeah, I took it like, okay, that sounds good. I mean, who wants to be, intimidated? Who wants to be under somebody? Who wants? So, but as I kept on growing and understanding the concept and understanding how the world runs and comparing this whole things and those activists. Actually, if you look at most of the activists who push feminism in Africa, most of them, they even behave very weird. I'm going to use an example of of a Ugandan doctor. She's a professor and a doctor at one of the biggest universities in East Africa. And to my surprise, this woman one time, because she felt like she was not satisfied with whatever was going on at the school, and because she had applied for, a certain, position, but they did not give her that position. So she felt like maybe they're doing this because I'm a woman, but truth to be told, she was a very indisciplined woman. Even if it was me in that position, I would never give such an indisciplined person a position, because to me, the criteria at which someone should be a leader, discipline should be the number one key For me to make you a leader, you should be disciplined, because with the disciplined, discipline governs every concept in life. So after they rejected this lady, she went ahead and stripped herself naked with all her sagging breasts, because she grown up. I think at that time she was like 50 years. You just undress yourself totally. No, talk about undressing, you may think I'm talking about, undressing in a very everything. She did not have anything on her. The only thing she had, I think, was her glasses. But no innerwear, no bra, nothing. Nothing. And she practically called the journalists to come. And she was doing this in the school premises, in the campus, when all the students are at school. So she had to undress herself, go completely naked. All the cameras were focusing on her. And that's how she was trying to, show her anger and sadness. Like, we women, like, how do you even call yourself an African woman when you practice in such kind of, how do I even term that? It goes beyond the madness. There is no way a woman who is old enough to be a grandmother can do such a thing, and then you stand around and start telling me you're fighting for my rights. So you know what, Maria, if this is going on, just undress yourself. What is it about? You talking about violenting, the violence and everything that befouls the women, rights and everything, and then you strip yourself naked. You don't care about these young people who are looking at you as a mother or as a grandmother. That is one. You're also defiling their rights, because I don't think it is right for you to go naked in the presence of all these young people. What image are you printing out there? Now this is how crazy the African activists are. They take all the Western concept and they bring it down here. Because when I saw that woman do that, I just knew people were not, upright. There is no way a fool, unless you have some mannish hormones in you, because it is just natural for me as a woman to feel like not every man can see, my parts. I feel like shy. I cannot let like every stranger or every man look at some of my body parts. But I'll give you an example of like these homosexuals. If you look at the gay men, they're okay with putting their balls outside, moving their balls outside anywhere the way they want. The same goes with the less. The same goes with lesbians, because when it comes to opposite sex, there is always that sense, of shame and fear of somebody, like a stranger. No, not even a stranger, someone of an opposite sex looking at you in a very weird manner. At If not so, you find it yourself, like you're shy and probably, okay, maybe I'm defining me, maybe, I don't know, but I think that's how it is. But when you look at these people who have nothing to hide, if somebody who has got no connection with men whatsoever, I don't find them, I don't have no problem moving naked and men are looking at me anyhow. I don't care whether I'm undressed, I'm stripping myself naked, because I don't care what men think, because there is nothing. There is nothing I need from you. I don't, there is nothing I have, whatsoever that connects me to you. So these other people, because if it is a movement, if at all you are trying to demonstrate about something, demonstrate it properly. You cannot demonstrate something so inhuman, so un-African, and then you are telling me that you are promoting Africanism, and promoting, gender equality. These are the same women who will be talking about women being paid So if I'm your wife and I'm back home taking care of your children, it is the mandate, that you should pay me a certain amount of money at the end of the month. Leaving factors constant, leaving the responsibility constant, leaving everything constant. Why should I be paid for being a mother for my own children? Why should I be paid for taking care of my own children? Now, where does this leave the African women? Where does this leave the nurturing of a mother? Where does this put a mother? Do you still have the love that our ancestors used to have towards their children? Are the African women going to continue expressing their love, their normal, endless mother love? Because feminists also talk about mother love, mother this, but why do I need to be paid for taking care of my own child, my own flesh and blood, my own child that I carried for 9 months? For 9 months. Why should I be paid for that? Now, another concept, it is okay. When we, in this life, everything and everyone was created with their own different purpose. That's why we all do things differently. We have people who are doing, charity work. We got people who are doing, who are doctors. We got people from different walks of life. Everyone has a purpose. My purpose is not your purpose. That's why I cannot say that I must be on the same level with GB Jabba, because probably whatever. GB Jabba has his own purpose. I have my own purpose. Each of us have to run their own race because we are here for different reasons. The same thing happens when it comes to family. Hey, chocolate. Kind of nzuri. No, kind of nzuri. Thank you so much, Robert. Thank you. Asante sana, kaka, for sure. Thank you. So, we all have our own purpose. I cannot try to say like I'm trying to outcompete Robert Williams. I'm trying, to run his race, whatever. Because if you think you're going to do that, that means you're going to fail. Because you don't know when Robert started doing that. You don't know the reason as to why. And the biggest reason is he was meant to do that. And that was his purpose here on earth. So if you remove away the hierarchy system in the African society or the African families and marriage, that means you are scrapping away the organizational societies. And that's why we are having a lot of things that are going wrong in the African society today. It is okay. First of all, I'm not here because we have women emancipation. So Maria has got she's working for Black on Fire Network simply because maybe no. I'm here probably because I was supposed to be here. Two, I'm here because I have the potential to be here. Okay? There is nothing like, and I know my duties. I know my duties. I know the duties I have towards my mother. I know the duties I have towards my brothers. I know my limits. I know where I exceed, and I know everything that I'm supposed to do now. The problem comes in. Feminist women call for equality, but when they are given that equality, they're even still the same people who complain about this. Okay, so if you want us to be equal, how about we coming back, and how about you trying to pay some bills? When it comes to them practicing that, no. It is your duty as a man to do that, Why should I be doing this? But we are supposed to be equal. Is it not the equality we are talking about here? Good afternoon, Maria. I'm listening in while working. Thank you, Jabba. Thank you for coming through. Yeah, I got it. Thank you for coming through. Thank you, Robert. Williams, for coming through too. And for those who are watching my live, thank you guys for coming through. So, Jabba, what do you think about feminism in the Black society and Africa at large? Robert Williams, what do you think about feminism? Actually, a lot of African people, more especially the men, are in disagreement with this this agenda setting of feminism thing. Most of the African men are against it because some of them feel like their women behave some weirdly to the point that some other men feel like when you marry an educated woman, you're going to have to go through a lot of shit and a lot of that. Because most of the African people have forgotten what we used to do in the African society, which was very important. That was homeschooling. When I talk about homeschooling, it's not about you keeping a child at home and teaching them whatever they're supposed to learn from school at home, but to teach them the reality, because we believe at school there is almost nothing that we are learning from there, apart from probably wanting to become a professional and obtaining a certificate and whatever. But at school, we are told our norms, we are told everything about us. And of course, we learn this from, those people who know better, who know much better than we do. So, in African society, feminism would be something that defiles its nature. Because everyone, I'm sorry, I'm not going to be so very ashamed. I'm not going to feel ashamed to say this, and I'm not going to shy away from it. Okay? I'm not going to shy away from it. I know some other people will think I'm so, naive. She's so too much of a village, whatever, because some people call me that, and I'm used to it. But I'm not going to shy away from that truth, because the truth is truth, and we do not negotiate about it. It is not me who made this truth. It is not me who made this truth. I found it. I was born in a founded truth, and I must say it. So I'm sorry. It may be so stupid. It may sound so stupid, but feminism cannot work. Feminism can never bring the uprightness of Africanism. Feminism can never define Africa. Feminism defiles every African concept. I know. If at all feminism was built on strengthening the African society, if at all it was built to strengthen the African's family structure, we wouldn't have fallen apart like this, because first of all, it existed even before I was born. I think in the 70s and in the 80s, something like that. I wasn't born. But that's when it was introduced. And that is when everything started happening in Africa. Okay. I value my girl's opinion and respect it. Cooperation is essential to execute the family plan. When we look at, yes, that is what GB Jabba says. When we look at this, if you look at the essence of feminism, actually, it isn't about cooperation. It isn't about cooperation. It is not about cooperation, actually. Maria, it is about time you come back from vacation. It must be good to be rich. What do you say? Yeah. Paste in the chat room. Williams, thank you for coming through. Thank you for coming through. Oh, I've been here. It's you who has not been here. Anyway, it's you who has not been here. So if feminism was built on a very upright, after revising the African system, probably it would be a very good thing, because I love to work. I love to make my own money. I love to, make my own money, and of course, not ask whether a man is going to give me this or that. Okay, are you going to give me this? So I don't see myself also being someone who be asking everything, anything, if at all things go well with me, you know. But feminism doesn't actually focus on that. Rather, it focuses on other things that has got nothing with the development of a woman. Because if feminism was right, we would not be having women who are still being raped in, and women also going through some other violating stuffs for them to get some jobs. If at all feminism was right, if at all it was done in a right way, women wouldn't be experiencing all the violences they're experiencing right now. We would not be having women having to raise their children as single mothers. I know it is not their doing, but if feminism was for the right cause, it would actually be in act, and its act would be seen. We are not seeing the effect, the positive effect of feminism in Africa, but rather we are seeing the negative impact of feminism. That if at all you're a woman and you're still behaving in an African way, actually, I'll give a story from school. We have few students who are doing investigative journalism. The rest of the students are doing, other, sectors of journalism. And so at times we meet as the journalist students, no matter the department. And so we are studying what they call sociology. This is the study of human behavior in, given societies. There was a topic that was given to us, actually. I think I was the only female who was contradicting with this topic. And I was like, okay, are we serious? Because these are, we were like something like 1,000 journalists. And most of these people actually, because they were trying to say, in our home, a woman needs a man and a man needs a woman. But most of the ladies were like, nobody needs a man. Though the men were saying, yeah, I've not heard a man saying they don't need a woman. I've not heard that. If you've ever heard that, you can comment. I've never heard a man saying, we don't need a woman. Maybe the gay men, maybe. But I've never had a straight man saying that we don't need a woman. It is women who say they don't need a man. Because there is an agenda. Because they were trained to believe so. Because they were meant to think so. I've not seen a man say they don't need a woman, but maybe they would even say we don't need a man. We don't need a woman because if it is about sex, a man can go around and buy a whore and then they do whatever they want and pay for that and he goes. Men nowadays even can do their own laundry, can't even cook. We got men who are good at cooking. They can do everything. So I feel like they should even be the ones to say that they don't need a woman, because if it's about sexual satisfaction, they would still go ahead and pay for that and then go get satisfied. First of all, some of them are living in a relationship where they have to pay for almost everything, every service they receive from a woman. But I've not had men say that they don't need a woman. Rather, I've had a lot of women saying that, we don't need a man. We just don't need a man. So why? Because for you men, you have not got that society, that squad of people who is trying to empower you or tell you otherwise. But with women, of course, and whatever is going on, for me to be a full, I always see that I'm a full woman, I can do my own shit. No. If we really compare everything, it should rather be a man who would say, I don't. Because men can do a lot of things, and then they can even go ahead and pay for whatever service you as a woman is given. Apart from maybe the children, but even they are still doing that. So why do women feel like they don't need a man? Yet in actual sense, you do. I always tell my friends at school, like, somebody can say, you don't need a man right now because you feel like you got everything. But there is that time There is that time when both the man and the woman need each other. There is that time where your youthfulness is not going to help, and your money is not going to help. When you really need to talk to somebody who understands you better, who respects you, somebody somebody you're going, But of course, I do not know about that kid I'm looking to get rid of my wife. Oh God, crazy. Ken Williams, what are you talking about? What is that? Oh God, crazy Black Australian network people. Why even say you're crazy? Ken Williams says he doesn't know about that, but he's looking to get rid of his wife. What has you done? Anyway, so in African society, first of all, um, growing as most of the families actually are being most of the children in Africa or the youths were raised by a single parenthood. And if you look at the statistics, like when did these African mothers start raising their children? It is at that very era where feminism was introduced to Africa. Most of the people were the educated people who decided to live a single life because, first of all, laws were made like if a man does something, then bam, I'm done. You have a right to walk away from this marriage. You go and take care of your own child. Child support does not really work a lot in Africa. So, but of course, if a woman feels like you are not giving the money she wants, she takes you to police, and then what happens? Of course, you get arrested, or even the police constables start even chewing your money because you're supposed to report that every day to give him the support. And then if you give the child support, sometimes it doesn't even reach the children and all that. So that's how the African society got very, very disorganized. And until to date, I don't know, most of the African women feel like it is okay for you. No, shit, power is gone. My electricity is gone, man. Woo! Mario! Julieta. I tell no you're not getting like permitting you. That way don't against it. Told you. Send me and get it off. Get that pen. Ah, I told my wife if she acts up, I will leave her at the cab with a sign, please take leave. Take leave, chair. My electricity is gone, and soon I know my Wi-Fi is going together. I don't know. Oh God. Mm. No, that is crazy. That is crazy. But welcome to you. Welcome to you guys. And it's fucking hard in here. I don't know why. I don't know why my electricity is not here, but whatever. Mm. Awesome, man. My power is back. I hope you guys have not ended my show. Take care, family. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know why it is happening that way. My Wi-Fi is disturbing a little. But I'll continue with my show, by the way, until my time is. So, some guys are, like we find it my family, always crazy people. Jimmy Jabba saying, okay. But, everyone needs, you know, we need each other. And that's how society was organized at that time. We need each other. And it is funny how people will be like, you're talking about you not needing another, you not needing a man, and in the end of it all, but you go back to, you know, you go back to your house or your bedroom and you start crying to yourself. And as you come, because this is nature, it is natural, it is natural. We are the original people. We cannot be conducting ourselves the way others conduct themselves. Maybe for them it's okay to do their different practices the way they do it. But for us, we call habit, you know, we live with each other. So it doesn't matter how, but this is how we are designed. A man to know his responsibility and a woman to know her responsibility. That's why there is a proverb in African society that says, a man builds a house, a woman builds a home. So these two things are very important. A house is very important, and a home is very, very important. Now, unless women are told their importance, that's how they will feel like we are so inferior. We are not being treated equal. Men don't treat us same. Let me first tell the family that I'm back, so that they're gonna come back. Um, you know, let me first see. So this electricity can make me laugh. So unless someone knows their worth, okay? Feminism, feminism, tries to make women feel so inferior because it tries to make them think if you live as a normal woman, you are inferior. Feminism puts African women in a position of thinking they are not worth anything. Feminism made the African women think that unless you try to outcompete a man, you have got nothing. Feminism made them overlook their importance as African women. But what defines you as an African woman is your responsibility to your family, to your society, and your purpose on earth. That's why it is very important. In Africa, in many cultures, if you die as a grown-up, they celebrate you. You are celebrated. People celebrate you because they know you have lived your purpose on earth. And they know as you go in the next realm, you are definitely going to be a person of impact. There are no fighters in another life who were never fighters before. You cannot call upon your dormant ancestor. That person is still dormant. The person's spirit is still dormant. There is nothing that will change in the afterlife. If you didn't create that positive impact, how will you then create it when you are away? But if African women, first of all, were told about their goodness, about their powerfulness, about their importance, we would not need feminism. We wouldn't need a white woman to come down here and tell us how we should run our African system. We wouldn't need an African man we wouldn't need a black man or black woman to come down to Africa to tell us how we should run our family and our society system. If at all we were told the greatness we possess as African women. But first, school doesn't teach us that. And most of the time we spend, of course, in school, we are not taught about our greatness. Now, somebody comes in from Europe or from whatever Western world, comes down here to tell you that, you know what, you are just like that. You are like that because somebody is stepping on your head. So you are like that because you are so inferior. Because we were not told of our greatness. We were not told that being an African mother is a duty. Is your duty, is part of your purpose, and it is a great thing to do. We were not told that. So somebody comes around and turns everything around to make you feel that the right thing you're doing is not right. The right thing you're doing is all right. Why? If at all it is going to be about this whole gender equality, why is it that when we go even at our jobs, we got those levels? We got the levels, we got the managers, we got everyone set in their responsibilities, everyone having their role to play. And that is the setup. And that is how things are run. And that's how we are able to make, things work. Because everyone knows and understands their responsibilities. Habari, I'm coming in late. Yeah, sorry, General, but still, thank you for coming, sir. Well, my lights just went off. So you'd have fun when we are even very far. But yeah, thank you for coming, sir. It's okay, even if you're late. So you see, because we were told, we did not have anybody telling us that, okay, you are on the right track. It is okay for you to be a mother. It is okay for you to have a husband and for you to do whatever it is, and it is okay for your man to do what they are doing, because probably, African women never had that. Schools never taught them that. But again, somebody, a Mzungu comes from wherever she's coming from, looking at Africa from, a telescope, and has a view of her own, and comes, bam, dumps it on you. You know what? Where I come from, when a man annoys me, you know what? I just take him to court, and that's it. Here in Africa, when you have arguments with your family, with your husband, you first go to the father, to your parents who are there. That's why our family in Africa is very wide. We first go to your parents, okay? We go to your parents, and that's why we do not have that too much familiarity with the female's parents. The men don't have that too much familiarity, because they want to create that sense of respect between the families. If I respect your father, I'll respect his words. If you respect my father, so there isn't that too much familiarity, because they're trying to create that bond of respect. You don't have to see my mother's weakness, because you start disrespecting my mother. You don't have to see my father's weakness, because you start disrespecting my father. The same thing with your parents. So they create that boundary that brings respect. Okay? So you cannot come in, for you who decided to go and get married in whatever way you carry family, you start preaching to me about different things. In Africa, when I have issues, when the family has issues, they sit as a family, because that was an agreement they made the day they decided to marry your daughter, or the day you decided to marry me. So we become family. So if anything happens, if I feel like I'm not contented with what my spouse is doing, the first thing, even before I report to police, is reporting to probably his father or whoever, was there when we were, doing this marriage thing. More especially, it is the aunt, because in my tradition, it's like my father's, closest sister is always supposed to give me out for marriage, and then my brothers too. So my husband will go and talk to my brothers, you know what, your sister is doing this and that. And probably they know I do that, or probably this is a new vice I'm trying to adapt because of growth or whatever, influence, whatever it is. So they sit me down. So for family to break up, it takes a long course in Africa. And that's why you find when people break up in Africa, it takes a lot. Somebody might have given up already, but when their parents talk to them, you find like they're trying to give it a second thought. That is Africa. And then if it comes to feminism, of course, the first thing that will happen, you're running into the, is it the women, whatever, groups, how do they call them? FIDA, whatever, those other groups that were created. These people you are going to, they even don't know. They don't know your husband. They even don't know how you grew up. They even don't know whether it is you in the wrong, because me, I may do something to my spouse. My brothers will be like, no, that's not my rare. But you may go and report something that's like, yeah, we know she must have done it, because we know her, because they grew up with me. My mom knows my weakness. They know my bad vices. The same thing with my brothers. They know who I am. They know all the bullshit I'm capable of doing. Okay? Because these are people I agree with now. You run to places, you run to people who don't even know you. They just start fighting for things they don't even understand. The first thing they will do, okay, she's a woman, she has been done this. How sure are you even the woman is not in a wrong? How sure are you that the man is not in a wrong? So you don't come in Africa and start telling Africans what to do. The moment that step down here, it spoils everything. Because first of all, if I knew I'm doing something wrong, and I know, because of course we know these bad things we do, I will be so ashamed, because you'll be like, how will even, my mom learned that I'm sleeping around. I'm sleeping around. I'm cheating on my husband. How will my brothers even hear that I've been sleeping around, or probably the man the child I carry does not belong to the man I'm married to. So, because you know they will get to know this thing. But if you're going to take this case to a stranger, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. Okay, who are they, first of all? All you want is for you to take your case forward. And you don't really care because these are strangers to you. Strangers in disguise of friends. This is feminism in Africa. So a lot of families have broken apart. We've had a lot of blunders. I'm not like trying to say men should disrespect women. I'm not like trying to say you shouldn't listen, you should exercise. You know, me, according to me, exercising manhood isn't about you being violent, you being vulgar, you being disrespectful. How do you exercise that? Because I don't see if someone is doing what is right, I don't see why we should even be fighting. You know, you listening to me is a sign of love. There is nothing like, I don't listen to you because I'm a man. No, you don't love me and you're trying to bring bullshit and you're trying to tell me because you're a man. It is your duty as a man to listen to me. And that is it. And that is how African society works. It is your duty to listen to me when when I have something that is hurting. You don't go about slapping me anyhow. It is even not your right as a man to beat me. That's why I said we had those people who we have those people where we take the issues, except that nowadays the society is spoiled. The moment you go around telling, probably you choose somebody you're going to talk to, and the next person is going to be gossiping about issues that concern your family. Your man is going to start being disrespected. Everybody is going to be, you see that idiot there, you see, he do this, he do that, because you're talking to now. That is how everything is just so spoiled. But I wish we were that Africa before now, where our, grandparents used to live in harmony, with their husbands and everything was so cool. I know they had their own ups and downs, but the respect was huge. Both men and women used to respect each other. And who said that African men don't respect African women? Kay Washington, hello sis, you're welcome. Thank you for coming through. And who's saying that African men and women don't respect each other? So for you just want to come around and tell African people how to behave, because for you feel if I give my husband water when I'm laying down, what are you doing? Are you a slave? Where should you kneel? But this is my tradition. It is my tradition and I'm not complaining about it. Okay, why are you doing that? Are you a slave? And in most cases, the themes of feminism are like a woman is not your slave. That is one thing. What does it mean? What does it mean? That means their theme, everything you do as a duty is, you should feel like it is, something opposed than you. Now, African women used to do this selflessly. They used to do this willingly, with even nobody telling them to do it. And the same thing was, with the African man. It is okay for me to go out there to look for a job. First of all, the world has changed. We are living in a competitive world. We are living in a world where you have to compete, for jobs, and you have to find ways of sustaining your families. It is no longer the days where we used to live on cultivation and wealth was measured on the land you got. Land is scarce even nowadays. So nowadays we measure with your bank account, the ATM cards, and these other assets and other stuffs you got. So everybody ought to work. You have to work because probably your kids have to live a good life. But you don't have to work like I'm trying to show my husband that I'm going to be, I can also be a man. You cannot be a man. You cannot be a man, no matter what you do, because you're just not a man. Okay? So, this issue of like, I don't need a man, I can be a man. Are you serious? or I can be a woman. You cannot be a woman. I cannot be a man, period. Because I am not. That's the truth. Or people are shying away from the fact they're trying to stupidly, blindly accept something that can never be. Okay, we have seen single mothers raising their children. Okay, okay. But you cannot tell me I'm raising my child, I'm a single mom, I'm raising my child as a mother and also as a father. You are taking the father's responsibility. You are taking full responsibility of the child because of the father's absence, but that's not going to make you the father of that child. You're working, you're the director of an organization, whatever. And now the funniest thing when it comes to African men, also, it can be crazy. Some men also don't want to accept that, my boss is a female. Because you got that stereotype in your head, she coming with her car, you're just a get man. I mean, respect this woman. She worked so hard to be up there. Like I said, everyone has their purpose. So now she's cruising her car around and you just say, no, she cannot be ordering me to open this gate because she's a woman, Why did you come for that job? Why did you come to open the gate? So, apart from that, apart from leaving all factors constant, we can never be somebody else. You as a woman can never be a man can never be a woman, and we can only cohabit. There is nobody who can live without another. Like I said before, I only hear women saying, I don't need a man, I don't need a man. I've not heard men say they don't need women, but women keep on saying that. Because for you men, you have not been categorically introduced to all this we are fighting for you shit. And for the women, you're a woman, you can do it. You can do it. We have been doing it. We have doing it. It is only those women who don't know the greatness they hold that they feel they need somebody else to clarify that for them, that they need somebody else to thumb it up for them. Like, you can do, you've done that. I don't need your validation. I know my worth as a woman. I don't need your validation to tell me being a mother is a job. Being a mother, I'm doing this happily. I'm taking care of my kids happily. I'm getting my salary, taking my kids out, having time with them happily. I don't need Kay Washington to tell me, oh yeah, Maria, you're doing good. I don't care whether you feel I'm doing good or not. I'm doing it to satisfy me, my emotions, to satisfy my feelings as a parent or as a responsible female. So I don't need any validation. So if you're a woman, you need validation. I need to prove to them, who are you proving? I have to prove, to the world that women can do. Women have been doing this even before now. We have had women warriors do things. We have had women superiors doing things. But simply because you were not told, or you don't know the greatness that an African woman holds, that's why you want validation from other people outside. And that's why I'm looking for gender equality, and all that. If at all this feminism was built on an upright foundation, if at all it was built for the progress of Black people, things would be greater. Because there is nothing as important as a Black woman being empowered. But how are you empowered? Even in African proverb, we say, a smart woman protects the entire society. How should these women be empowered? There is no way you tell me you're empowering me as a challenge to the men. You don't need to challenge anybody. Like I said, everyone has their race, they have their purpose, they have reasons as to why they're on earth. So let everyone do their purpose. Let everyone carry out the reason as to why they're here. Let them be on their mission. So there is no that that separation between man and woman, me, I have to prove to you that I'm superior. I have to prove to you that I can do what you can do. You have to prove nobody. You have to prove nobody. Just do your things upright. Do your things proper. We have had a lot of issues. We have seen women even sexually harassing young boys. We've seen women sexually harassing young boys. The society does not talk about it. The only person they can ever harass is a woman. How about those young boys? How about these men who are being violated? I saw on Facebook this woman, this lady, she was from where? Mississippi? The one who shot dead her husband on a live Facebook, stream. On a Facebook live stream. Actually, I was even discussing this with my mom. Was like, really? Okay. If it was a man and this woman was recording these instances, not once, not twice, every time they would have arguments with her husband, she would go down, put the things on Facebook. So apparently, like, everyone knew what they were doing. Okay, they are fighting again. If it was a man who was doing this, he was going to be arrested. He was going to be arrested. But this woman was doing this consecutively, time and again, broadcasting this live, and then until he shut the father of his children down. The guy died. And funny enough, the mother of a woman was even around. I don't know you people in diaspora how you even live. How can I even live in a house, mom? Your wife's mother is coming to stay around. You're talking to your wife and she's busy behind there, back token. She was even involving, can you stay around? Where are you going on? I don't know whether she was in the kitchen, but I was hearing the mother-in-law talking. So you're giving your daughter that big head to be so disrespectful to someone else's child. Like, who said that men were also not born? They also have their mothers just the way we women have our mothers. And then you're talking about this mom does not even tell their daughter what you're doing is not right, calm down. She's just bad mouthing as well. She's shouting in the kitchen, whatever. And the daughter is here just shouting with the guy. And the guy is trying to pack his stuff and gotta probably go to his mom or wherever he wanted to go. In the long run, this lady killed her husband. And then she was crying. Jeremy, why are you crying? And the kids are like, Dad, Mom, Dad. You are killing your husband in the presence of your children. Your children are seeing you kill their father. Because if the society was balanced, if we are talking about gender equality, let's really make it equal. Let's make it really equal. If somebody's in the wrong, let the person be in the wrong. Don't be like saying, okay, it is okay for men to do that. It's okay for women to do that, not men. That is not equality. Where is the equal sign? If it was a man who was always having those live streams and trying to, I heard that sometimes you could even slap the guy on live. Sometimes they would have, fights on live. Everybody will be seeing them doing that thing. If it was this man having those live stream and treating the wife the way she used to treat this guy, they would arrest him there and then. But because she was a woman, okay, she's just a woman. Who said that women cannot hurt men? Who said if it's going to be gender equality? Why is it not gender equality? Why do we have some biasness and inequality in the concept? There is nothing like that except to bring this unity and this imbalances between family, society, and marriage and whatever. There is nothing good about it. So this guy goes ahead and dies. Women can be very provoking. It takes a strong man to just walk away. Just like this guy was trying to walk away, but she was like, you're not going to walk away. Why should you walk away? Until boom, the guy died. Somebody's son. I don't care. I'm not going to say somebody's husband because somebody's son died just like that. You think he got no mother? So should his mother not cry, or she shouldn't feel bad because she get back to a son who the society does not look at as a child, who society does not take care of, and even your wife with whom your son is married to, of course, no matter how violent this woman is, that's why we are seeing a lot of black men dying in the hands of women, because the society does not consider a woman hostile. By the way, but yet in the actual sense, women are very provoking. We are very provocative, but the society doesn't. I don't know, but there is nothing like gender equality here. We have seen a lot of black men dying in the hands of women. We have seen them die in the hands of black women. My I don't know. I'm trying to chica. So my battery is going down. I'm trying to connect my but even my time is off. Ooh. My extension seems to be faulty. I think because of this electricity that went and yeah, because I'm trying to see some of the cables are not connecting, so my laptop may get off soon. This was a very entertaining topic to me. Actually, I liked it. I'll also conclude by saying, in African society, we need each other. The black people need each other. We don't need somebody to come and tell us how to run the African society. Somebody shouldn't come here to tell us how to run things in our homes or in our society. We have seen a lot of black men dying in the hands of women because these issues have been so much neglected. We believe that, and women are taking this as an advantage to affect their men. Like that story of a man who just died. You can't, Maria, you can't live in 7 this one. Ah, my dear, we just need to wake up as black people. Before even you start affecting somebody else's son, you are also a mother. Tomorrow you're going to have your son, and you wish such a thing to be, done to your son. Because what goes around comes around. Some of the people are experiencing the impact of what their parents did till today. So we should take care and love each other. With love, I believe everything is possible. With love, I believe unity can be achieved. With love, I believe we can overcome all these differences that we have within the black community in our families. It is very, very important for also black men to be considered in the society. Police cannot be chasing them up and down, and also families chasing them up and down. So as the black women, we should come together to embrace and accept that beside this one being your husband, it is also your duty to protect him and make him feel safe around you. Thank you very much for watching Black Hot Fire Network. It has been me, Africa Maria. See you tomorrow, same time. I love you so much. Yes, we lead and others follow. See you tomorrow. Thank you, David Brown, for coming through. I'll just see you right now. Jabat Jerome Hill, K. Washington, K. Williams, Robert Williams, and second, no, he was not here. Jib Jab, of course, was. And who else was here? Sorry, guys. Sorry. Let me get you. I think those other people were here. I mentioned all your names. And whoever is watching, guys, thank you so very much for coming through. Thank you very much for loving Black Hot Fire Network. We lead and others follow. See you tomorrow, same time. It has been me, Africa Maria, Kampala, Uganda.